Thunderbolts * introduces a brand new team to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, consisting of discarded super soldiers and a couple of assassins, but the movie certainly wraps up with one of the biggest bangs of the multiverse saga to date. While the film's initial announcement was met with a lukewarm response, and the ragtag group of heroes in the lineup appeared to barely add up to the D-list of heroes, Thunderbolts * exceeds expectations with its integral role in setting up the final chapters of the multiverse saga. The film largely focused on side characters from previous MCU projects, and introduced one notable new character in the form of Bob Reynolds. While the movie answered some lingering questions about additional characters like Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, the heart and soul of the movie is the formation of a new superhero team. But the ending also presents a significant tonal shift from the story that came before, as it paves the way for the next several releases from Marvel Studios. How the Thunderbolts and Bob defeat the Void. The last act of Thunderbolts * sees the anti-heroes band together, and choose to literally step into the Void in order to save the day. Like the heroes that came before, these misfits put their own safety and survival to one side, in an effort to stop the destruction and chaos that is consuming New York City. Yelena Belova leads the charge, as she walks into the Void and seeks out the troubled Bob, only to be caught in a nightmarish realm where her worst memories are playing on repeat. But before long, Yelena finds Bob. After stepping into his mind, she sees some of the memories that defined this troubled man, and she offers comfort and kindness. Then, as the pair commit to trying to break free of this mind prison, Bob's darker half turns on them. But with the aid of the rest of the team, they make it to Bob's darkest memory, where Bob and the Void face off. However, it isn't until Bob is embraced by his new friends, and pulled away from the fight, that they manage to break free of the Void, and restore the city to its regular state. What happened to Bob? When the film skips to 14 months after these events, the team appears to be organized and situated as the new Avengers, but Bob seems to take a back seat when it comes to superhero duties. In the new Avengers Tower, Bob can be seen reading a book and apologizing that he can help, but he is quick to mention that he can't use them without risking the Void resurfacing. It makes sense that Bob still has his powers, but he is purposely suppressing them to avoid losing control. What the other Thunderbolts may have seen in their rooms. While Yelena, Bob, and John Walker all had their rooms briefly glimpsed in the film, Alexei Shostakov, Ava Starr, and Bucky Barnes did not have their nightmares on display. However, each of these characters possesses many regrets and griefs that likely populated their rooms. Ava, aka Ghost, may have seen the victim she was assigned to kill, or been trapped in the experimental labs that changed her molecular state of being. Alexei likely experienced grief as he willingly let his adopted daughters, Yelena and Natasha, be taken by agents of the Red Room. And Bucky had more than his fair share of blood on his hands after decades of being a sleeper agent for HYDRA. The New Avengers explained Marvel Comics history and what's next in the MCU. In the comics, the New Avengers looked very different. In the wake of the Registration Act, which is equivalent to the Sokovia Accords, a new team formed when breaking out of the superhero prison, the Raft. Initially, Captain America and Iron Man were founding members, and they added Luke Cage, Spider-Man, and Spider-Woman to their lineup. However, they also invited Daredevil, and tried to contact Sentry, with Daredevil rejecting the offer and Sentry disappearing. In the history of the team, Bucky did join the lineup when he took on the Captain America mantle, but otherwise, the MCU formation is completely different. Interestingly, in the comics, the New Avengers were the unsanctioned, unlawful group of heroes, while other teams continued with the oversight of the government. In the MCU, this appears to be altered slightly. The New Avengers are very much in the public eye, and with Valentina advocating for these heroes, they appear to be operating within the confines of the law. Meanwhile, Sam Wilson's superhero team may prove to be less above board with the government, despite being more popular among the public. The New Avengers team roster confirmed. The new lineup of heroes includes several recent additions to the MCU, including Red Guardian and US Agent, though it doesn't include Bob, aka Sentry, who was standing in the lineup when Valentina introduced the team. Bob's status as a member of the team may be impacted by his lack of control over his powers, which means that, as far as the public is concerned, he is not a part of the team. In addition, Yelena appears to be the new leader of the team, supported by one of the oldest characters in the MCU, both in real terms and, according to his story, Bucky Barnes. What Yelena meant when she told Valentina, "We own you now." Throughout Thunderbolts *, Valentina was trying to avoid being impeached from her position as a top government official and the director of the CIA. Having conducted experimental and secretive treatments on people, causing an unknown number of deaths, Valentina was in hot water. And Yelena and her fellow assassins were moving to aid in her impeachment. However, with Valentina taking advantage of the situation when the team stopped New York from being consumed by the Void, Yelena was sure to let her know that they own her. With her tenuous position, and their knowledge of what transpired and how Valentina was a direct cause behind the blackout, Yelena is ensuring that the team is not being manipulated without having a say in what goes on. The significance of the new Avengers Wheaties box. Early in the film's run, when Alexei joins with the other heroes, he is profoundly excited about the chance to create a new hero team, and he mentions how they could be on the front of the Wheaties box. In the US, this has been a significant and notable achievement awarded to top-tier athletes, often gold medalists, and that caliber, indicating how Wheaties is the breakfast of champions. While this was initially a pipe dream of Alexei's, the team appears to have a distinct relationship with sponsors, and they do end up getting on the front of the Wheaties box. What the Thunderbolts * ending means for Fantastic Four, First Steps and Avengers, Doomsday. In the post-credits scene for Thunderbolts *, Yelena and the team make note of a space crisis. They check monitors, which then reveal an image of the Fantastic Four's space rocket hurtling through the sky. This appears to be a pretty clear spoiler for the ending of the Fantastic Four. First Steps, which takes place in an alternate timeline, which is likely to be destroyed and make way for these heroes to travel to Earth 616 with the other heroes ahead of Avengers, Doomsday. While this is a spoiler for the movie, this has been highly theorized, and the fact that the Fantastic Four have been announced to appear in Avengers, Doomsday already indicates something huge would need to happen to have these realities collide. Evidently, with such a public entrance to the sacred timeline, the Fantastic Four are likely to be greeted by Earth's heroes and defenders, such as the new Avengers and Sam Wilson's Avengers, which would be a great starting point for Avengers, Doomsday. The real meaning of the Thunderbolts * ending explained. Beyond what actually appears on the screen, this movie is also steeped in deeper meaning and symbolism, which goes into pretty dark territory for an MCU movie. The film deals a lot with ideas of mental health, depression, and anxiety. Not only is Bob someone who has suffered from traumatic experiences in his childhood, resulting in a fractured mind, but the other heroes in the team consist of people who failed. All of them have intense grief, shame, and guilt. But they also have a desire to overcome that grief and create a brighter future. With this in mind, the theme of darkness and the void is used more frequently than just to reference the villain of the film. And this void is only overcome when these people rally together, form a strong bond, and make a community for themselves, opening the door to heal and improve as seen throughout Thunderbolts *.